regard to management. So if you could start by briefly telling us about that.
Thank you very much. First of all, Ned has said that Upco is one of the most effective of the circular debt. Actually, Yaqub Sattar is sitting here. He's the most effective. He's going through his BlackBerry right now. I'm sure maybe he's at office.
Waiting for an email from the finance.
I'm sure, yeah. So yes, circular debt has been a very, very great concern, not for the energy industry, but also for the whole country. For us, circular debt started in 2006, when with minor delay in payments from WAPTA. And obviously we tried to manage that by borrowings from bank. But in 2008, with rising fuel oil prices and general tightness in credit in the market, we were unable to kind of continue that going forward. So we had to resort to delay in payments to Pakistan State Oil. In 2009, just to give you a brief background, Ministry of Finance arranged two big settlements. And the objective was that going forward, after those two settlements, public sector entities would be able to cope up with the increase in tariff that the NEPA was allowing in the country at that time, and settle the issue going forward. But unfortunately, this is very unfortunate for Pakistan and for the industry that this has not happened. And we are again back to the same situation. And probably at this moment, the circular debt has peaked at its highest level. Its impact on the company and the economy, obviously everybody is aware. I mean, this issue has been reported widely in the newspapers and in media. For us, the impact has been very, very grave. Hub Power has been setting up two projects. The cost of borrowing has gone up considerably after 2008. The general tightness in the credit, it has become extremely difficult to achieve financial close of the projects in Pakistan. So that has been a general impact. For PSO, I'm sure that the impacts are even graver because they are the people or the organization where the buck is stopping, and they have to deal with the foreign supplier. So that is one of the key concern for us these days. The other issue that
What about the operational? What's the day-to-day operational impact in terms of running your day-to-day operation, road maintenance, whatnot, and managing your working capital with regards to that?
Yeah, I mean, working capital has become a real-time business for us. So daily cash management, I mean, when we arrive in the office, that's what we start with. When we leave, that's what we leave with. So, and it's become a real-time business. I mean, whenever we receive some money from WAPTA, in fact, PSO is the first one, and they are aware that somebody is coming into Karachi. So it has become a very, very real-time business in that respect, yes.
Interesting. Now, coming to Bell Electric, obviously you have two different businesses. One is obviously the power equipment business, and you have issues with payments and receivables from WAPTA. And the other business is the electronics business, the dynamics of which have completely changed. Especially LG has defaulted, and with consumer credit having left the market, there is a major impact on the uptake. Tell us about your specific issues with regards to these two things.
Yes, thank you very much. You may be aware that Bell is primarily dealing in power and appliances sector. Now, this is a very general perception. Normally, people used to ask 2 or 3 major questions about our company, that how do you get money from WAPTA when it is facing a circulated problem? And how do you manage to get money? We have sorted out some solutions out of it, say, for example, through some redundancies and through better payment mechanism. But this is a general perception which prevails and which is asked by most of the people, for example, lenders as well, and how you will get the money from WAPTA or DISCOs or the KSC, who are our major customers. You know, this is one thing on the appliances side. Another thing is...
So how do you get the money from WAPTA?
Yeah, getting money from WAPTA from us. We are basically getting money from the DISCOs through some payment mechanism which is in latency. So we put more pressure, we do more efforts with WAPTA or DISCOs on the offering side rather than the payments. Because once we got the payment, LC from WAPTA or DISCOs, we don't have to knock their doors. We have to get it through the banks, channelize it through the banks. So the payment basically we got from the of appliances, the question which is normally asked and which is also our concern is the high credit which we give in the market as well. For that and how we are getting growth, how we will be able to sell our air conditioners or refrigerators in the market where there is no energy. So these are the two basic things which we normally face. But our credit normally is distributed among 1,500 dealers all across the country. So if we divide the whole of the credit in those dealers, the amount per dealer would be quite low, which is quite manageable. In case of the other point, how we are managing to sell our products at the time when there is no energy available. If you look at the figures for the last 2 years, there was a real stagnancy, you can say. But in last year, we have seen a 30% growth in the refrigerator size. It was a 1 million unit 2-3 years back. Now it is operating at 1.3 million units of refrigerators. The main driver, I think, for this purpose is the income, disposable income from the agriculture business. The disposable income which is available to the customer is relatively quite high. If you look at 2003, the disposable income for the 4 major crops like wheat, cotton, etc. was just 280 billion rupees. Versus in 2009, it is 900 billion rupees. So once a farmer who gets the money in the form of some agriculture things, one of the things he prefers to buy is refrigerator, besides some other things like television or motorcycle.
So he's buying the refrigerator in the hope that one day there will be energy running through his
He is getting the energy, for example, they might be rotating for a few hours, but for the rest of the hours, he would like to enjoy that life.
Great. Ahmed Saab, obviously interesting life for you. On one hand, there is serious fluctuation in refinery margins, then obviously there is fluctuation in oil prices, and hence there is a constant variation in the upliftment done by the OMCs. So life must be really good for you right now.
It's excellent.
You turn your mic on, please.
Life as a CFO of an oil refinery these days is
Exciting to say the least.
Very exciting. As we mentioned about the circular that is a problem which is affecting the entire energy sector. I think the oil refineries are in a very peculiar situation, and especially the refinery like Matic refinery, which has to create keep a balance between what it is taking as a crude oil intake, because our entire production is based on indigenous crude oil produced in Pakistan. So as the circular debt issue arises, obviously we have a problem in making payments to our suppliers, and in turn our suppliers also perhaps are facing the same issue as ours is. Because of the national interest, we can't stop supplying. We cannot, just close down business and say that since the money is not there, we will just close down the business. That we cannot do, both commercially as well as in the national interest. Because if we do that, the crude oil which is coming out to a refinery, the fields cannot be let. They cannot close down. So we have to continue taking the crude oil. We have to continue producing our petroleum products, and we have to continue supplying to the market. So the circular debt is definitely an issue which is affecting the oil refineries, like other industry. But then there are, as mentioned, the refinery margins. The refining margins is something which is beyond the control of the refiners, and there is a wrong perception in the minds of the general public, and that too largely created by people who are not in this trade. And that is that if the crude prices are coming down, so should the prices of petroleum products also come down. There are too many dynamics to it. We cannot say that if the prices of crude oil have come down, the petroleum prices would also